Good morning, everyone. It is Lisa DeToffel with Tiger Eye Talk. I will apologize up front for my scratchy throat in case I sound a little bit different. Here with me today, I have Lucia Steeg from Messy Meerkat Studios. If I did not say that correctly, you can clarify that. But she is an artist. Oh my gosh, she is so good at what she does. Her and I have the privilege of being part of a networking organization together, is how Lucia and I met. So, Lucia, I'm going to turn it over to you, let you further introduce yourself a little bit for all our viewers.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm a visual artist based in British Columbia in Canada. I wasn't always an artist. So there's a little story behind that. I immigrated to Canada in 2020. And upon immigration and arriving here, of course, just as the pandemic kicks off, I had a decision to make. Would I pursue a corporate career as I had done in South Africa? Or would I make a change and do something for myself and try and actually build something for myself? And that is how Messy Meerkat Studios came into being. I've always been, sort of creative. I have always dabbled in arts and crafts. I've mixed media in particular. I absolutely love mixed media. And this opportunity came up and I was like, let me do this. Let me start a business. It's been a very, very steep learning curve. When you first start a business, you make all sorts of mistakes. You make product-based mistakes. You sort of make promotion mistakes. I don't like using social media as much, but you have to in this business. It's a very visual product. So you sort of stumble around for at least a year. So the business is now just over a year old. And I'm slowly but surely starting to expand my footprint and grow. You don't just arrive and sort of go, well, here I am.
No, that's
and
not
people
how that
buy and people buy from you. I wish it was that easy. It takes a while to get your product offering out there and people going, oh, look, oh, a couple of times, before they start recognizing the product. And also seeing that you're sticking around. You're not sort of here today and gone tomorrow kind of thing as an artist.
That's important. Yes. For sure.
So I do multiple things. I do some crafting in my business as well. I make some soap dishes and other things out of jasmonite. And I also do the actual visual art in mixed media with a heavy leaning towards resin.
Do you have a piece of your art there close by that you could possibly show everyone?
Well, I've got this is part of the craft. So I call this little piece "Ocean in My Hands."
Oh, that's beautiful.
So this is typical of what I do. I call it this particular product that I do in both resin and jasmonite. I call it art hands. When I make stuff, I try and make it in such a way that people would want to keep it around for a long time.
Absolutely.
So this particular product is a blend between jasmonite and resin, and it's got quite a lot of gemstones in it too, as well as some shells. So it's literally like you're holding an ocean in your hand. Very popular with people. They love seeing it. They love the river hands. They, always touching. They're always engaging with my stuff, and I really like that. I like it when people engage with what I do.
That's awesome. So what is something that people may misunderstand about what you do?
I think the first thing, I'll just take it from the questions that I get asked regularly. Do you make all of this? Especially the little hearts. And the answer is yes, I do. Because it's quite a wide, when I pack out the table, say at a market or a show, it's quite a wide variety of stuff. So the answer is yes, I make everything by hand. Other than the substrate that it comes on, in the case of some of the art, everything else is handmade. My hearts are handmade. My hands are handmade. The actual art is handmade. Everything is made. The other thing, there seems to be a misconception, and I think it's been created when resin, especially in 2020, it peaked. There was a lot of interest in resin. It sort of calmed down a little bit. And I think it had a lot to do with the pandemic. People were looking for things to do, trying to earn additional income. So I think there's a misconception out there that everyone can do resin and it's cheap. It's not cheap. Resin itself, and it's Canadian dollars that I'm going to quote now. A good quality art resin costs $30 a liter.
Oh, wow.
So it's quite an expensive medium to use. So that is the other misconception that's out there. It's also, it's also important to note that safety around resin, it's extremely important. This is another misconception. You must wear a full face respirator. I've just finished course material that I'm hoping to present in August at the Resin Symposium. And I talk extensively, and my notes talk extensively about that safety features. You got to be safe when doing resin. Don't do it without a respirator. Don't do it without nitrile gloves. Some people need to wear a Tyvek suit. It's a chemical. At the end of the day, you are working with a chemical. So I think those are probably the top 3 things that I'd like to address on this one.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
No problem.
What is the best compliment you've ever received on some of your work?
I have never seen stuff like this.
Yes. And I've seen some of your stuff, and I've never seen stuff like that either.
And I always say
it's all beautiful, for sure.
I always say to people that say that to me, I say thank you, because that is the best compliment you could ever give me. Because it means that my stuff is so unique and stands out to that degree that you feel compelled to say, I have never seen this before. These are people that go to a lot of arts and craft shows. These are people that are, they get around. So they do see a lot of stuff. They like to support local artisans. So they get around the markets. So they've seen a lot of the stuff. So I take that. That is one of the biggest compliments you can ever give me. So thank you as well, Lisa.
You're welcome. Now, do you just work with local, sell your pieces locally there in Canada where you are? Or is there a way that, maybe people in the US could possibly order some of your pieces?
Absolutely, you can order some of my pieces. What I don't do is sort of, add any additional costs onto the shipping charges. And depending on what it is, it can go as standard Canada Post, which then I believe gets handed over to the postal services in the US, depending on the item and how big it is. The bigger pieces can be shipped via specialized freight. So sort of a FedEx maybe, properly packed, because you don't want that artwork damaged, especially with the big pieces. But it's very, very possible to ship it anywhere.
Awesome.
And I do believe it's actually cheaper to ship to the US than what it is to ship within Canada.
Did you hear that, US friends?
Don't quote me on that. I looked at some of the postage. I was like, whoa.
Awesome. So how is the best way for people to contact you and possibly learn more about, the pieces and things that you do?
They can reach out to me on Instagram via direct message, or they can send me an email to Messy Meerkat Studios. I know that's a mouthful, and with my accent, there's going to be some, miscommunication somewhere, at gmail.com. So that is probably a good way to get hold of me. Instagram. Can you
also be on other platforms like LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I have opened my YouTube channel. I just have not done anything yet. I am on TikTok. I am on Facebook as the Messy Meerkat, and Instagram as well. So slowly but surely, I'm starting to open up those social media channels.
Awesome. That's wonderful. So what are you currently working on?
So currently, I am busy with 2 commission pieces, 2 very different commission pieces. Actually, 3 very different, smaller commission pieces. And I'm also working, I have markets. I'm doing my first farmers market on Saturday. It's not a market I've ever explored before, so I'm curious. It's within my community, within Surrey in British Columbia, so that is part of my community. And then I'm also starting to prepare. We've got the Fort Langley Jazz and Arts Festival coming up. I have the Gem Show coming up in Richmond in August. It's always a good place to be. Anywhere where there's crystals and art is like perfect. For me, it's perfect. So there's a couple of things coming up towards now, going into I would call summer to, into the fall season, where things start to get a lot busier.
Awesome.
And I'm actually hoping to put more courses on the web.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Now that I've sort of done my first one, and I've put it together, and I learned all the mistakes I made and everything that I did wrong, and sort of learned from that. Now I'm hoping to actually, I've got a taste of it now, and I'm hoping to sort of expand on that and start putting things out there. People ask me a lot, do you teach? Well, yes, but I haven't got any courses up yet.
Yes. I mean, what you do is so beautiful. And I mean, other people, yes, would love to learn how to do what you do. My next question is, what do you enjoy working with the most as far as the different types of, like the structures that you work with, like the crystals, etc.? What do you like to working with the most?
A blend. Oh dear. Let me show you quickly. This is a sneak preview.
Oh wow.
This is a mixed media piece.
I love that.
I actually really love working with this because this takes everything. It's got a terrible shine to it because not a terrible shine, but resin is like a mirror. It reflects everything back at you. So the clay part of this, it's lovely to work with because you're working with clay. There's something for me. I'm a very tactile artist, so I like to feel things as I work with it. These little elements, I enjoy making them because each of these little bits and pieces are actually I make myself. And there's something therapeutic about dusting out the molds with the mica powders. It takes forever. And putting this together, I think, is one of my favorite things because it's so totally different. It's
beautiful.
Combining all the different elements into a technically more difficult piece is what I love the most, I guess. If that answers. So
do you actually name every piece that you make? So that piece you just showed us, what's it called?
This one is called, it's just called Desert, actually. This one is just Desert. This is very much, if you look at the theme of this, it's got a lot of cactuses and sort of small succulents and things, and it's just desert. The colors is very desert. I don't always, sometimes an inspiration will strike and it'll be a complicated name, but I name every piece. I also have a stamp with a certificate of authenticity. So every piece like this gets stamped. I'm working on my certificates that will go with the other pieces because it's important to tell people that buy my stuff that it's a unique piece. There's not going to be another one.
Right.
It's not something that you can duplicate. And B, that it's my own ideas. I haven't stolen this,
right,
or infringed on anyone else's copyright ideas. So if I download any art as an inspiration, say off like Shutterstock, I actually have an account with them. So I purchase each image. So that takes care. As an artist, I wouldn't want people to copy my stuff. So I extend that respect onto everybody else, including, maybe graphic artists or people that do images, etc. So that is why I actually have a Shutterstock license too. Sometimes you need to do something like one of the commission pieces I'm working with, that you download an image, which you then engrave. So I purchase them, and that is important to me. I don't want to really upset the apple cart for other people either.
What would you recommend if someone listening to us today is possibly interested in starting to do art such as what you do? What advice would you give them?
Look around at what you can find on YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful, university of YouTube, I call it, as a start. If you want to do what I do, it's a wide variety of skills. So you are going to have to look at, I picked up skills on doing that skull from making fairy houses.
Wow.
How to work with clay. So it's things like that. So you pick up these skills in the most interesting and diverse places.
Right.
You've got to learn how to work with clay. So that's one part of it. You need to learn how to work with resin, how to correctly mix. There's quite a lot of information on YouTube how to correctly mix resin, how to work with it safely. Your molds. That is one thing I haven't seen. I will put out a YouTube soon that discusses molds only, because I'm finding that molds is becoming an issue, especially when you try and buy it cost effectively and not buying it from someone that actually makes molds for a living. Especially with the little flowers and things like that. It's these molds are cheap, and really the quality of the molds matter. So it's like a diverse range of skills you've got to pick up, and you can find most of them on YouTube, but you're gonna find you like doing random things. And
do you make your own molds, or do you purchase?
I do make my own molds.
Okay.
If I find something like a chameleon, I have a little ceramic chameleon that came with me from South Africa. So I'll make a mold of that because I want to use that in my mixed media. So
awesome.
That's another skill, how to make molds.
I'm sure it is. And
whatever you do, don't get distracted like I did the first time I was here and I got the mold making material. And I didn't mix all of part B into part A. And I had silicone on my acrylic blanks that didn't cure.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't get distracted. No kids, no dogs, no husband, no wives, no whatever. Just don't get distracted when you're working with mold making material. It's not that difficult, but no distractions.
Awesome. So if you had the opportunity to, I don't know what your background is and what you did prior to starting your business, would you choose to do this all over again?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. I worked in a corporate background for 25 years, Lisa. I was always in the marketing and sales, sort of sphere. I started at the bottom in South Africa, worked my way into a middle management role. Was before I left South Africa. I find that as a creative person, it really drained me. There's only so much, creativity you can bring into a product management role. Has the product management role that I did in South Africa helped me here? Yes, because I know my products. And now I understand. Some of my hearts are lost leaders for me. They don't make money, but they're part of a basket of products that I offer to the customers that enjoy buying them and enjoy seeing them. So it's part of my product offering. So getting that product mix right. But choosing to be creative and do creative things like this, absolutely. It is my wish that everybody listening that is maybe not an artisan but supports artisans, support them even more.
Absolutely.
Don't go to Walmart and buy a gift. Go and find a local crafter and buy that. Go and support your local markets. Go and buy from those people. You are supporting their dreams. You're supporting their businesses. It's and their passion, because they do this for a passion. And I can say this from the bottom of my heart. I have noticed that people that I go to markets with, the packaging, their marketing is incredible. They can compete easily with a Nordstrom. And the quality of the product is fabulous.
Awesome.
So what I do every market is I buy one, I buy something from vendors. I give something away. It's a mantra of mine. Jeanette always talks about give to give, give to receive.
Yes, I agree. I do that as well. I love to give gifts, but I don't ever really expect anything back. If I do, great. If I don't, that's okay too. I really admire you and what you do, for sure. My audience, I would like for you to reach out to Lucia, learn more about what she does. I know we had a little, quick snippet here today to learn a little bit, but there's so much more that you can learn about her and what she does. And it's amazing. I promise it's amazing. You will not learn anything that you would not want to know. You'd come away with some great takeaways when she even dives deeper into what she does, shows you some more amazing pieces. Now, the pieces you showed us today were awesome, but I've seen some of her other work as well. And it's so, so amazing. If you have any questions, reach out to Lucia. She'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Again, Lucia, I'm going to let you tell like what platforms and how they can actually contact with you. Okay.
Before I do that, I just want to say thank you, Lisa, for what you do. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you. So thank you. You can find me on Instagram, the Messy Meerkat. You can just search for the Messy Meerkat and you'll find me. Meerkat being a little surrogate. My logo is quite, you'll pick it up quickly. So I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn as myself. I also have a company page on LinkedIn. And you're welcome to reach out to me on any of those platforms. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy, getting them started in the right direction. And I'm happy to jump on a Zoom call.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lucia, for being here with us today and sharing more about what you do. And again, everyone, I apologize for my voice. It's kind of getting away from me a little bit. But until next month, y'all have a wonderful month. And like I said, if you have any other questions, reach out to Lucia and she'll be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you, Lisa.
And Lucia, thank you for being here.